Welcome to the Meat and Potatoes podcast, a Silicon Slopes production. Meat and Potatoes shines a light on the people in Silicon Slopes who get things done. We explore how, why, and when they get those things done, and why their work is the meat and potatoes of Utah's tech and business community. Today we are joined by Kimball Kjar, who is the owner and general manager of Utah Warriors Rugby. How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just loving life right now. Tons of fun.
Quarantine life.
So your guys' Major League Rugby schedule was 4 or 5 games into it?
Yeah, we were 5 games in and really tracking really well. We had actually, our last game, we beat the 2-time defending champs in Seattle in what you could arguably say was probably one of the best games that Major League Rugby's seen in a long time, having, 10 minutes of stoppage time, which is just unheard of. The guys were tracking real well, and that the COVID-19 stuff kind of came at a pretty interesting juncture on the rugby side of the season. But
yeah, so talk a little bit about that. The entire season was canceled, not postponed, not delayed, canceled, right?
Yeah, man, it seems like, we're coming up on just 3.5 weeks of, how this has all transpired. And it seems like it was 3.5 years ago, but, we had, it was Wednesday. I remember just, vividly Wednesday, March 11th, and everything was ready to go. RSL and our facility partners at Zions Bank Stadium. Yeah, we're good to go. But then we began to see certain things begin to transpire. The LDS Church changed their conference setup. They weren't going to let people come, but they were still going to do it from the conference center. The March Madness was going to still have the games, but then not let fans play. And, you kind of began to see things begin to unravel. But then, the nail in the coffin was when the Jazz and Rudy Gobert tested positive just before that game. I believe it was in Toronto or Minnesota or wherever it was.
Dallas, I think.
Yeah, that's when it just completely everything just went completely sideways from a sports and entertainment industry. NBA suspended play for 30 days. We ended up suspending play for 30 days. The next Thursday, and then the next day, and then the next Thursday, we were coordinating with the board and the partners. So the way that Major League Rugby is set up, it's the exact same setup as Major League Soccer, where the teams own the league, and so we make the decisions as a partnership as to what's going to happen. And the hard part about where we were at, as opposed to what I know what Major League Soccer is trying to do and the NBA is trying to do, we have basically a hard time frame that we have to get our season done by, and that's the end of June, because our sanctioning agreement with World Rugby, the international governing body, July is sort of the test window, the international test window that you have to be done by. And at the time, they were still saying that that's going to stay in place regardless of this COVID-19 thing, which is a whole separate conversation in and of itself. But, with that being said, and we thought maybe if we came back after 60 days, we could come back and try to have an abbreviated season, but it just didn't end up making sense in any way, shape, or form, not only from a fan experience, a sponsor experience, fulfillment, that sort of thing, let alone the most important part, which was player welfare. Having these guys stick around for 60 days, not do anything, and then have to throw them out on the rugby pitch and expect them to perform at a high level. It just wasn't reasonable. So anyways, we decided to pull the plug, and, it's turned out to be the right decision.
Yeah. So is that a vote from all the teams, or did the commissioner just decide to do it?
No, it's a vote. That's a board level vote. So that's all 14 members of Major League Rugby, and it was pretty much a unanimous vote that it was the right thing to do given the circumstances. Pretty unprecedented times. But the nice thing about this is it gives us an opportunity to really get ourselves set and ready for 2021, and gives us an extra month or so of planning that we typically don't have. And there's a number of things in there that is different. We're slightly different from the NBA and Major League Soccer and some of these other professional leagues, where we're small enough to be able to kind of weather these types of storms, but yet big enough to be able to really be able to come out of this a lot stronger. So
yeah. So yeah, the silver lining is you guys know what you're dealing with. The other sports leagues are still in flux as to what they're going to do. College football and the NFL are looking good now. I can't imagine the vast amounts of depression that will occur if those are canceled.
Well, let's be honest. If this COVID-19 was happening during the NFL or college football season, I think there would be a far greater outcry here within the American public for us to be doing more than what we're doing, which, the medical workers and others are doing an amazing job, and our civic and community leaders are doing an amazing job as well. But, I just got to think that as a generic sports fan base here in the United States, if football was being tampered with, we'd be needing to have a little bit of a different conversation, I'm sure, with the American public.
Yeah, that would be all hands on deck, 24/7.
That's right.
Let's get after it. All right. So with that extra time to plan and things like that, I assume the first couple of days and weeks were triage of, unwinding deals, working with sponsors, figuring out player personnel, that type of stuff. So now that kind of phase is gone, what are your guys' plans, for personnel and, for the economics of the team and the league?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And, I could probably spend a whole hour on just this alone, but the first week, 2 weeks after we made that decision, it was, like you said, triage mode. It felt, because we have about 12 international players on the team, and then the rest is basically local and domestic guys. But with those 12 players, we were having to book flights and close down apartments, and it felt like an evacuation. Candidly, for a good week or so, just making sure that the players were taken care of, and that there weren't any health issues as well, and among other things. But yeah, I mean, the nice thing about where we're at is our partners. Just to speak to the sponsors and partners, everyone's been amazing. You guys have been a partner of ours since day one, and Intermountain Healthcare, Thorne Pharmaceuticals, the Maloof Foundation. I could kind of go on and on, but every single one of our partners has been supportive and just completely amazing given the situation. And because, I think everyone's facing this at the same time. This isn't just a challenge that's isolated just for us. And it's a challenge that everyone's trying to help the other person lift each other up. And that's what's been really nice to see, is that, as we put our conversations out there to say, listen, we're planning, we're pivoting, we're trying to do this, give us a little time. Everybody's come back to us and said, we get it. Just let us know how we can help you, and let us know how we can help the community. And we'd love to be involved in anything that helps out with the community. And it's been amazing to see just the good things that people have been doing. I know, what Silicon Slopes has been doing with, the testing program, and just helping give back to this community has been, amazing to see and watch. And so, our season ticket holder base, we've only had 2 season ticket holders drop out. And that was only because their sons were going to be going on LDS missions next year. And so they weren't going to be able to use their tickets. So what we've done is we've told the season ticket holders, since we didn't have our first home game, which was supposed to be March 5th or March 13th, 2 days after things kind of blew up. That was going to be our first home game. We told the season ticket holders that, we'll just roll over your tickets from 2020 into 2021, and we'll even add a ticket. So just stick with us. And everyone's been amazing. They've all said, yeah, we'll stick with you, and we can't wait for next season. So the season ticket holder and the generic fan base has been amazing and supportive as well.
Cool.
And yeah, we're just kind of moving into that planning phase. We're working through how we're going to come out of this stronger. Our coaching staff is still intact. In fact, we're trying to make some improvements and increases there, not only on the coaching staff but the commercial side. So for us, I really look at this as a good opportunity for us to really come out of this stronger and pivot into a successful 2021 season. But I mean, that starts as soon as as soon as we can come out of this community lockdown.
Yeah. So you guys do a bunch of other stuff throughout the year with clinics and touch rugby and kid camps, those types of things. What are your plans for that, over the spring and summer and fall?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Really, the biggest thing that we see from a brand engagement and community engagement is people are just going to be looking for things to do. And fortunately for us, we're a product and a service that can provide that outlet as soon as we can begin to get together in groups greater than 10 people as a community. So one of the things we're working on right now is our Junior Warriors program, to make sure that it's ready to go. And we're going to just do as many clinics as we can throughout the state on an almost daily basis, and just get out into the community, into the schools, into the the parks and recreation organizations, and work with them just to provide an outlet for kids to do something. I think we're going to come out of this with a different perspective on youth sports and community sports, and just how important it is for us to mingle and associate with each other. And so we're gonna be doing a lot of that. You'll see quite a bit of things coming from us in the next couple of weeks, where we're going to let people know what's going on in terms of where they can potentially engage and be involved with those clinics and camps and Junior Warriors events. But yeah, no, I mean, one of the big things we're also looking at is just doing an event with our season ticket holders and just kind of the rugby community in general. We've had discussions with RSL around utilizing their facility just to do like a movie night or a kind of a fireworks show or something like that, depending on what time of year it is when we can come out of this self-isolation. But yeah, listen, we're going to be trying to just get out and give the community something to do and to be involved, to give back and support them while they've been supporting us.
Very cool. All right. So yeah, I assume a lot of people are packing on the pounds and are getting anxious to get out and do stuff. If people want to follow what you guys are doing and stay informed, what are the best platforms for that?
warriorsrugby.com is our website, and from there you can link to all of our social media. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, among others. But we're going to be putting out some educational rugby 101 videos, just to kind of let people learn a little bit more about the sport while they're at home. We've also got our S&C coach who has worked with the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Association, so he's a really competent individual to kind of help people stay in shape and stay active, even though they may be in quarantine or in self-isolation. But we're kind of just trying to do all those things that I think most other sports teams are, is just to stay engaged and involved with our fans and our community, and just providing support where we can.
Great. And then I assume through the website, people could watch some of the past games as well from this season. And
of course, yeah. We have our Warriors TV YouTube channel that has all of the prior games, not only from this season, but from prior seasons. And listen, if people are bored and stuck at home, one of the greatest games that you'll see of rugby in quite a long time is the Utah versus Seattle game, which was the last game played on March, I believe it was March 7th, if my memory serves me right. And that's on our YouTube channel. It's on demand, I think, on KMYU or some of these other channels that we do our local broadcast through as well. But yeah, listen, if we can provide, an opportunity for the family to get together and watch something fun and different. You can only watch the Disney movies and the Marvel movies and Harry Potter and everything else like my family has so many times before you got to start finding something new and different. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a rugby game is better than everything you just described. So absolutely.
I would agree.
Very cool. Well, we here at Silicon Slopes and thousands across the community are really excited for 2021, where we can see live rugby. And kudos to you and your team for rolling with the punches. And we look forward to the stuff you're going to do through the summer and fall. So thank you for your time today. Again, this Kimball Kjar, who is the owner and general manager of the Utah Warriors Rugby. Appreciate your time.
No worries. Thank you. Good luck with everything.
All right. Thanks.